Warning, you are about to enter the BGP suite. No thongs, no boy shorts, no thigh highs, no commandos are permissible. BGP, big girl panties only. So pull up to woman up. And no, please don't leave with your panties in a bunch.
Welcome to BGP. Today we're going to answer a question. We were talking one day and somebody brought up a topic and they wanted to know why passion seems to leave the relationship. Ladies, when you're passionate about your man, what does that mean to you, Miss Adrianne?
Oh, I like everything about him. I like how he walks, his swag, get the passion, the desire that I have to just be around him all the time. He smells good. He looks good. He's hardworking. That to me is definitely makes me feel real warm and fuzzy about him, as if he's and he's attentive. Those are the kind of things that make me passionate about him. Ooh,
Ms.Lishey
Williams, palpitating.
Oh God.
For me, I would say it means the intimacy is on 10.
Ooh.
That's what passionate is for me. Like everything is just right. The intimacy is there.
Yeah, for me it would be the same. The intimacy is there. We connect very well emotionally, spiritually, mentally. Even our arguments, we can't stay mad at each other. Mm-hmm. Very intense relationships. When you see his name on your phone, you smile. Mm-hmm. When you see him, you light up. Everything is just all good, He
calls you a nickname.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So
a nickname. What you thought I was saying?
I heard something different. I'm gonna leave it alone.
No.
Oh my God. So what would be some of the reasons where you ladies would think passion or those feelings would leave a relationship? Adrianne?
I think it's so many things
Give
that
us
could
an example.
make it go away. Like maybe our communication is no longer good. Everything is an argument. Sometimes the children, on how we are raising them, that anything that's dividing us takes the passion away to me. If we start having a division over everything, we can't see eye to eye. We can't seem to have a, because, I think in every relationship, you're going to have disagreements. You're going to have arguments. You're going to have things where they don't always line up. But I think, we talk about this all the time. Communication is everything. Why are we feeling this way? What is happening? Is there what is making it go away? Sometimes if it's his look and his intimacy, maybe he done got fat. Maybe he done got a pot belly and maybe things not working no more. That takes the passion away, don't it?
Absolutely.
Shoot, all of a sudden now you used to tickle him or kiss him on his neck and his thing gets all excited and now it just don't do nothing. It's just, that take the passion away, right? Okay.
I feel you.
Yeah. So me?
Yeah.
Neisha Williams?
I feel like when the layer is removed, I feel like a lot of times, in the beginning, there's this like honeymoon phase where you don't see no flags at all. Everything is just perfect. And then like one day it's just like this layer that was covering both of you is just removed and you get to see the true person. And there's little quirks that causes you to now start to be annoyed and lose interest and remove yourself or stop communicating as much. Things that you used to think was cute now annoys you, I think things like that, can cause you to lose passion. When you start to see a person pull away, can cause you to lose passion, when you're like, we used to, hold each other for like a whole hour before we would be like, okay, I got my arm asleep. Now you don't hold me at all, or
right.
We used to be able to like call each other and talk about our day, now we don't talk at all for a few days, when you start to see that switch up That real person show up and how they really move,
Right,
to me,
right.
causes passion to leave.
And it could be something as small as, remember in the beginning, they call me when you make it home. Call me when you get there. And then all of a sudden now, it's like you don't even care if I make it home or not. You didn't even say call, or you haven't called and checked on me. I think in the beginning, there are red flags that we see and we minimize them or we ignore them because we're so in lust, or we're in... yeah, and it's not, and then like you said, once we're there, and the real them comes out, and all of that foo-foo stuff kind of goes away, it's not there no more.
So would you ladies agree that most of the times when a man and a woman gets together that they meet their representatives?
Absolutely.
Always the first thing.
So actually there probably wasn't even any passion in the beginning. So everybody had their own motives.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think oftentimes we talk about the dysfunction that happens during the relationship or the dysfunction that happens after the relationship, but we don't think about the dysfunction that could occur, like they've just mentioned right now, before the relationship even starts. So I'm going to give you a scenario. So you went out today. I'm talking to the ladies. You was fly. Let's say you ended up at the mall. You walk into your favorite store. And coming straight towards you is the finest man you've seen all day. So what do we do, ladies? Shoulders back, pleasant facial expressions, and our walks become slow and intentional. Boom, pap, boom, pap. We switching. Now that you see that man is looking at you, let the games begin. As he draws closer to you, he'll give you a head nod. You'll greet him. He'll double back. Now you two of you are engaged in a little conversation. So he asks you for your number. Let's do a little sidebar. Do we give our numbers out to men that we do not find visually attractive, ladies? And if we do, what would be the exceptions? Adrianne Carver. Adrianne. I said Adrianne Carver. She must be talking about me. Adrianne.
I think nowadays at 50 plus, I have provided my contact information to those that are not very appealing.
Why? When?
Because now it's like I'm not so surface. I think some men, you can have some men that are not very physically attractive, but are really, really nice and really, really kind and really like you. And before where I used to dismiss them.
You fly today.
I know.
I want us to be realistic because we have some ladies. You fly today. I said the finest man.
The finest.
So the least attractive man, do we normally, as women, give our numbers out?
Normally, probably not. But I think your standards as you get older and more mature, it changes slightly.
Okay.
And you do, for me, I can't speak for everyone else, but for me, I do now that the people that used to be off over here that I would not ever entertain, I find myself entertaining some of those gentlemen now, today.
Neisha Williams.
It depends on his personality. I'm going to be honest. It depends on his personality. If we're meeting and we're having a discussion and he's funny, he's cracking jokes, he smells good, I might actually give my number, to be honest. Because it's not always about the looks for me. So he can still get my number. Because it just depends on the whole package when he's approaching.
Okay, for me, I'm going to keep it a buck. I would give my number out to a man that is not visually attractive for a couple of reasons. He may be a plumber. He may be a mechanic. He may, be an old friend from the neighborhood. Because here's the thing. When we are visually attractive, most of the time we find ourselves physically attractive to somebody that we haven't even slept with yet. But if we find that he is very visually attractive, we start, those inner hormones start kicking up and we be thinking about he could get it. And if we like what we see, we automatically kind of assume that we're going to like what he do in the bedroom. And that's where I think that as women, we go from reality to fantasy in 0 to 60 seconds. So I can't tell you what this man is going to do after he gets the number and mobs off to the left, but I can kind of basically tell you what a woman is going to do. And you ladies can correct me, you know, anytime you feel like. So let's start with, after the man gets your phone number, the one you like. Because, see, we were taught to be, ladies in the streets and freaks in the sheets. So we just got a phone number from the finest man that we've seen all day. We're going to do a couple of things. Either we're going to get on the phone and I'm going to call Neisha and I'll be like, girl, I'm at the mall and I met, oh boy. Because we out here looking for our men. We looking for baby daddies. Let's keep it 100. We looking for our future husbands. So I'm going to call Neisha or I'm going to go home. And I'm going to think about how many times I'm going to let the phone ring. Yes or no? If I let that phone ring 5 or 6 times, that's too much. He might not call back. Mm-hmm. If I let that phone ring 1 time, what happened?
You're looking a little thirsty.
Looking a little thirsty. Mm-hmm. And we don't want to look a little thirsty. We want to look like we are unavailable, that everybody is checking for us, right? So, like I say, stop me when I'm wrong. 1 ring, 2 rings, 3 rings. 3 rings is the ticket, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, what we going to do next? Next, we going to figure out how we going to answer the phone. Yes or no?
No, I just say hello.
But most of the time, are we going to use our corporate voice? Are we going to use our sexy voice? Are we going to use our homegirl voice? Next, what we're going to do as women, we're going to think about the first date. We're going to start going to look in the closet and see what we're going to put together. Am I lying?
Mm-hmm. That's right. True.
Next, what we're going to do, we're going to think about the first date, and we're going to imagine in our minds that the first date is going to be off the chain. The ambiance is going to be good. I don't know if you're going to sleep with each other on the first date or have the first kiss, but we start fantasizing. Mm-hmm. Am I lying?
True.
I'm lying?
I'm not saying you lying. I do think there are women that move that way. So I can't say you lying.
Okay.
I just don't move that way. But
next, what's going to happen? And here's the thing. The man ain't even called yet.
Right. Maybe that's why I'm like,
right. You know what I'm saying?
For what is?
I want y'all to work with me here. The man hasn't called yet.
Okay.
Next, what's going to happen is we're going to start imagining how he's going to propose to us.
Oh, Lord.
How many carats our engagement ring is going to be, so now we can flash it and floss it in front of our single homegirls. Mm-hmm. Where we going to get married at the venue? How many bridesmaids we going to have? What the flower girl going to look like? What color the wedding going to be? Where the reception is going to be? What the cake is going to look like? Am I lying?
Young girls, probably.
Sure.
Grown-ass women, too. Next, we're going to figure out where we're going to move to, how many square feet the house is going to be, what we're going to be driving, what kind of dog is going to be walking around. We're going to have a white picket fence. And how many kids we're going to have by this man who has not even called yet. And, of course, the baby's going to have good hair.
Okay.
And, of course, the children are going to have the best attributes that come from, you know, the man and the woman. And, again, this man has not called. So what actually happens here, and I want the men to listen very carefully, what a lot of women do is they have just had a full-blown relationship with you without your permission that you know nothing about. So by the time you call, if you do call, the woman probably put you up on a pedestal that you didn't even want to be on. Mm-hmm. She put you in a position that you probably didn't even want to be in. The man haven't even called. We don't know if the man is fresh out. We don't know if the man is unemployed. We don't know if the man had got a job. We don't know if the man has multiple baby mamas. We don't know if the man is a womanizer, if he's an abuser. We don't know shit about this man, but we have conjured up this romantic fantasy relationship. So by the time the man does call, we don't hear a goddamn thing he say. Am I lying?
True.
I mean, yeah, sure.
So now, when we get together, possibly ain't nothing he gonna do gonna be right. Because you have had a full-blown relationship with him, and it's not gonna work out. You're not gonna ask the right questions. You're not going to get involved. You're not gonna get to know him. So there was no passion there in the beginning. What y'all say?
I guess, yeah, if you've worked all that up in your head.
So are we saying that women don't work it up in their head like that?
Some women do.
I think
I'm not disagreeing with you. Some
Yeah.
women do move that way.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't. If all we did was exchange numbers and probably had a small, maybe 5 to 10 minute conversation before we exchange numbers, I'm gonna keep it at that. And when he calls, we could take it from there. But for me, maybe it's because I'm older, Maybe it's because I live in the real world. I'm not trying to plan for things that hasn't happened yet. Like I'm not trying to move that way.
Prematurely.
Yeah, I'm not trying to move that way. But I do know that there are some women that, in their head, they didn't already had their first argument before
Exactly.
before he even called, which is, in my opinion, too much pressure that's applied on a man. But
even speaking about the call, if he doesn't call
within
tonight,
a certain time frame,
he got your number today. Yeah, he didn't call tonight. Soon as he called, what took you so long?
Yeah.
You putting a stain on the relationship.
Wow.
I think that another form of why there was no passion, we didn't get enough time to get to know each other.
Yeah.
We had that lustful sex.
That lust.
Yeah.
That'll do it every time. And that's the only thing you can really have when you first meet a person. You know nothing about them, but you have fallen for their physical, the green eyes. He tall. He got a body. He look good. And then later on, you find out after conversation,
he dumb as a box of rocks.
Okay, dumb. He on his second strike. It's just all kind of stuff. But in your head, you done already, like you said, we done had babies. We done, man, this is him. This is it.
Yeah,
just
we do that
strictly
as women.
on a visual. And it's so much deeper than that. And I think, like I said, the younger me, you probably describe me to a T. But the woman I am today, I'm very selective. I don't think I give out my number half. And now it's like, what's your Instagram? What's your IG? It's a different time.
Yeah, that's the new number.
Your screening process is way different now. You can look at they social media pages and already get kind of like a feel for who they are. And if you're turned off by it, and that's sad too, because you're basing it on what they've been posting or things that they say when they just may have been sharing some stuff. You know what I mean? So yeah, we got to go a little deeper.
I think for women too, we were raised on fairy tales. We were raised on Cinderella. And what was it? The slipper?
The
Snow White.
The glass slipper.
The glass slipper.
Or
she got to date Cinderella got to date the most desirable man.
I know, the whole village.
And nobody wanted to be the ugly stepsisters. You know, and like Neisha said, Snow White.
Yeah.
You know, she had to be kissed, and she was laying looking all beautiful, and this prince came and kissed her. And even like what, I don't know if Neisha might be too young, but the, what was those Harlequin romances with Fabio,
back in the day.
the white boy with the long hair, silver hair.
He on the cover,
And cosmopolitan, and we were raised as women, and you know, we got a boyfriend, and we put Mona Love's Timothy.
Yeah,
and put
you
a
write
heart
your
around
name with
it.
their last name. Yeah,
We did all that, and I think that a lot of times there was the only passion was the imagination.
Right, right.
Yeah. Or even like what the tragic relationship between Romeo and Juliet, and they were young teenagers, and they thought they were so passionately in love, and they wanted to be together for the rest of their lives. And shit, it's been a minute since I read the book. I don't know why I brought it up, but didn't they? Their families, I think, and you guys could correct me, their families didn't get along. So
Right.
Okay, I'm on it. And so the only way that they thought that they could be together forever was to take their lives, you know.
Yeah.
And we feel that we want that kind of love and stuff. So I think we take a lot of fantasies and put it in, impose it into relationships before it even happens, and we cloud our visions, and we get off on the wrong track. And once the relationship doesn't go down in the steps that we thought it should, then we think we've been tricked, or we've been robbed, or we've been manipulated.
Right.
So, yeah. So what would be some steps that we could use to create great, healthy, passionate relationships with the opposite sex? Anybody?
I think getting to know what his likes, his love language, what turns him on, what turns you on. And you guys constantly, I think working in a relationship to keep that spicy romance there is so important. You have to make sure that you have your date nights. You know, take the kids over to grandma's house and have the night to yourself. Just sometimes it don't even have to be nothing, no large expense. Just you and him at the house. You fix a nice dinner. So it's all kind of things. I think we first have to make sure we're getting to know our guy. You know, make sure you know what it is that turns him on. You don't go in your head or what you've read in a book or anything like that, because everybody is different.
Or Neisha's relationship with her dude.
Exactly. Yeah,
I
with
want
her,
that
she said,
relationship.
yeah, right.
And you don't know what Neisha doing, and you don't know what her dude is doing.
Thank you. Yeah. So you have to know what you're working with and what turns him on. I think it goes both ways. He needs to know what it is that fulfills you and makes you feel special. So that's what it is for me. What about you?
I agree with what you said. And, you know, communication is key. Just ask.
Yeah.
It starts with just asking. You know, what makes you feel good? What do you enjoy about being in a relationship? What does a healthy relationship look like to you? And what can I do to make sure that we keep it on a healthy level? I mean, every couple of months while we're continuing to get to know each other, let's have a review. What are some things you think I need to improve on? What are some things I think you need to improve on? How's our listening skills? Are we listening more than we actually, you know, talking? Do we cut each other off? Do we sit there and throw tantrums? Because some of us do throw tantrums when we don't like what we're hearing. Can you handle hearing that there's something you're doing that's not pleasing to me, and vice versa? For example, the way you when you in between my legs, I don't like it. Or the way that I is not as good as what you're used to. Can you handle hearing that?
Oh.
Or the way that, you know, you cook your meals is a little too salty for me. Can you handle, you know, pulling back a little bit some of your seasoning? You know, just different, can you handle that while getting to know one another instead of taking offense and being super sensitive about what's being said? Because that's important. And a lot of times people miss out on that. And by the time you really get to know one another and this person finally blows up and explodes and tells you how they really feel, you'd be like, well, why you didn't tell me that? Now my feelings hurt. Now I'm no longer into you. Now I have issues. Maybe we shouldn't be together no more, you know, instead of just talking about it in the beginning. So that's some of my thoughts.
I think, too, if we start slacking on what we did in the beginning, like if you in the beginning, you you shaved or you
waxed,
and now all of a sudden now you're like the bush woman. You know what I mean? It's certain things to keep that passion. You got to do some of the very things that you started off doing in the beginning. If you took good care of yourself and he liked that your stomach was flat and your legs was shapely, and now you just kind of frumpy and let things go. You have to really look at that, because you don't want you don't want to lose your man's interest. And I think, and vice versa. If you fell in love with his 6-pack, and now I know he ain't gonna necessarily keep the 6-pack, but now he all just got belly hanging past his. No, we need to talk about it, and we have to be okay with taking the criticism, and they have to be okay with accepting it and see if that changes. Like you said, a check-in from every now and then is a good way of communicating that.
Mona?
I would say, like I say, stop the fantasy. Stop conjuring things up in your mind that might not be there. First of all, we need to see if we are compatible with one another. Some passion is organic. Some men you be like, here he come again.
Okay.
Some passion is learned. And it takes both man and a woman to create or to continue to create things that make those juices flow. We have to not be selfish, and be selfless. Ooh, I'm tearing this up. Because I'm thinking about passion now. Haven't you ever met it's always one man that, you be like, oh my God, I seen him yesterday. I was like, wow, he is so fine. And I told him, I said, well, boy, I've been trying to marry you for 30 years. You keep on marrying the wrong women. I give you what you want. And I was rubbing on his back, and he was just standing there like a statue. I was busting up laughing. I'm such a flirt sometimes, but yeah. Yeah. I think passion is when you're tuned in with one another, and how's your day? And let me see if I can make it better. Those things are going to be something that makes or keeps passion in a relationship. Like you said, talking, little love letters, run his bath water, a back rub, put some lotion on his back when he gets out the shower or whatever, But just knowing that the two of you belong together, and the two of you are good together, and just keep it going. We're going to have bills. We're going to have the babies crying. We're going to get pissed off at our job. Decompress for about 30 minutes. Hey, baby, I love you. Let me go in this room and call Neisha and be like, and then come out, jump in the shower, and, get your freak on. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Like, share, subscribe. Leave us a comment in the comment section. BGP, until the next episode. We're out.